Welcome to Grant's Rock Warehouse and to episode 2 of No Skips. Tonight, Rob and I take a look at 4 more records that are all killer and no filler. Please leave a comment, subscribe, let's do this.
Grant's Rock Warehouse, now with the look and feel of hand-tooled leather.
Welcome to Grant's Rock Warehouse, and tonight I want to welcome Rob the Waxed again. It's another episode of No Skips. This is the show, ladies and gentlemen, where we look at 4 records that we, with our own personal opinions, that we think, well, there are no tracks on these records that you want to skip. Rob, how are you? Nice to see you. Welcome to the show.
Getting by.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yes.
It's a struggle.
It is.
Every day.
Every day.
100%.
In my world, there's always an old lady who is stopping me from getting to where I need to go.
Well, you don't live in Florida.
California. I live in Santa Monica. It's near the beach. They're retired people here.
Probably a lot. All right, cool.
Too many.
Yeah. All right. Well, I get it. So anyway, let's just jump right in. So Rob picked 2 albums, I picked 2 albums, and I want to say this, Rob, that I was going back and forth. What the hell am I going to talk about? I don't want to talk about something everybody just always automatically would know, but then do I want to talk a record that people have forgotten about?
Actually, I had an album that I picked 2 yesterday. But I actually had an album I don't think anyone knows. That's not the one of the 2 I picked. But I picked an album and then I didn't go back to it. But maybe for the next time. But no one will know this album, really. I don't think.
Well, but that's cool.
I think it's good to get people, tip them off to stuff that's good.
Yes, that's the whole idea of this.
But based on the last video, the first one we did, some of the comments didn't like one of the records I picked.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, people. They're just records. If you don't like them, don't listen.
We got a lot of views on that record, though. I mean, on that show.
Listen, I'm view gold. So people will watch and go, what is this moron going to say next?
100%.
This moron, not that one.
Well, I'm a moron. I'm just a monkey with fiber optic cable. No one cares about what I really have to say. Show's not about me. It's about the music. So anyway, let's turn it over to you. What's your first? Where are we going to start out with?
I'm going to start off with this one.
All right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They're picked because the other one has stories, but they all have stories. Picture. It's 1987. A sophomore in college is awaiting, heard through the grapevine, the release of a highly anticipated album. 7 years in the making. It is released to, I believe, acclaim. Someone will say it wasn't, but it is.
It was. If this is the album that I think you're discussing, it was.
It was. This album, from beginning to end, was anticipated, and there are no skips on this one. Oh, where am I? It is Third Stage by Boston. Now, this is the CD, if you can't believe it. But I have the vinyl. But if anyone watches me, they know my vinyl is a swamp. There's no rhyme or reason. It's not organized. So I didn't feel like digging, looking for the record. So I found, for this No Skips, I'm going to refer to the CDs I have. Because, Grant prefers the CD.
Well, we've been over this before. The only reason I don't promote vinyl so much is because it's so expensive. CDs are way cheaper. And go buy low is my philosophy. So there you go.
All right. So again, the setting was me I went to Virginia Commonwealth University in Richmond, Virginia, the capital of the state, a kind of a city school. but since I left, has grown massively. It's a gigantic school. It's taken over that city. So in the dorms, this was being played like crazy. It's just let's get back to Boston. Like their first album was 78 or before
76,
76. Then the second one was 78. They did
78.
that quick. So from 78, they're going, what the fuck's Tom Schultz? Where are you?
Mhm.
And then he sent the band on hiatus. The group of them went and recorded another album that was
Barry Goudreau's album, which is
Barry Goudreau,
fabulous.
Patterns, which is basically all of Boston except Tom Schultz.
Right.
And his reaction to that album, he fired Barry, kicked him out of the band.
But virtually, we've looked at that record. We did a one and done show on that record. That is a phenomenal. I mean, if you like Boston,
It's a dollar bin record. I have a copy of it, and they have that song Dreams.
yeah, I think.
There's a couple music videos from it, but that got rid of them. And then 7 years to make this from the second one. So I'm a Boston fan from the get go. And so here's what this cements. A couple things before we get into the no Skippy songs. The Boston, one of the best rock singers of all time, Brad Delp.
100%.
Just incredible.
Yeah.
And the way he was horribly treated by Tom Schultz, contributing to his situation. But when he sings, it makes him feel like you can sing. That's how good of a singer he is. His singing, when you're in the car playing this, you start singing and go, I think I sound a little bit like Brad Delp. When you don't sound anything like Brad Delp. But
in your monkey brain, you're thinking, damn, I can keep right up with Brad.
I can do this. And here's a weird thing about Brad Delp. Huge Beatles fan. He had a Beatles cover band where they covered the Beatles. I think it was Beetlejuice was the name of his band. Did you know that?
No, I knew he had a Beatles
I'm not
cover
joking.
band, but
I
I didn't
believe
know.
His Beatles cover band was called Beetlejuice.
I believe that.
All right. So, and second thing this album does, I'm thinking Tom Schultz plays the majority of the songs. There's a nice little tutorial or whatever you would call this, where he says no synthesizers were used. By the way, if you ever watched Tombstone, the audio commentary, the director goes, every strike of lightning and every mustache was real. I found that funny. Okay, so what this other does is every time there's a guitar solo, it makes you think you can play the guitar solo, like the air guitar. Nee, 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 nee. Two things this album does successfully. It makes you think you can sing like Brad Delp, and it makes you think you can play guitar like the MIT genius that Tom Schultz is. So that's just a side benefit that comes from listening to this. Do you agree with those two
100%. But this is a little bit of a contrarian take because I think a lot of people would say that, well, the first album is the greatest, and ever since then they've just kind of.
Well, I do feel the first three albums are it for me. Mm-hmm. Anything I tried to listen to after that was garbage because it just they shrunk from Tom Schultz over controlling style. I think the album they did after this, which was like another 7 years later, had a couple of Brad Delp led songs, and then they had another singer. And the only time I saw Boston is when they got that guy who won the contest off the internet to sing. And he sang pretty good. And then they had that guy from Striper singing, and he was not good.
Was that Michael Sweet?
Michael Sweet.
Yeah.
But getting back to it, it's the first three. Side note, the band returned to Zero, which was basically Barry and Brad's band. And they had a couple hit songs on that album. Sound like Boston to me.
I bought that the first Return to Zero record, going through CD bins in Chicago, got it for $1.
Yeah.
And it sounds like Chicago. I'm Chicago. It sounds like Boston, or it might sound
Yeah.
like Memphis if you're
It
lucky.
sounds like Boston. And then years later, Barry, I think they were in-laws. I
I
think
didn't know
Brad
that.
was married to Barry's sister.
Hmm.
So they're related in that way. But years later, I think they did 2, 3, or 4 albums together with just their names as the band. And there are a couple songs. They didn't achieve Return to Zero status, but a bunch of the songs do sound like that. Getting back to this. So I always felt, is this a concept album? I don't know. I didn't do enough of a dive to the whole thought of this. But when some chucklehead is spending 7 years over mixing an album, I don't know. But you start off with the big song from this album, Amanda.
Big hit.
I don't know who Amanda is, but here's one thing I do every time I hear this song. They have the opening part of it, and then it goes to a triangle. And every time I hear the triangle, I go, ding, I just pluck my nose. Like my nose is the triangle. So Amanda's top, and then
So does this mean, Rob, you're playing guitar in your mind, you're
In
singing
triangle.
like Brad Delp in your
Oh,
mind, and you're
yeah.
playing triangle?
Playing triangle.
My
Well, I
God.
do that with other songs. There are other songs that have that kind of ding triangle.
Hmm.
I think,
Pet
Keep On.
Sounds.
No. Well, yeah, but REO Speedwagon, right? Is it there's a ding, and Keep On Loving You. Doesn't that have that?
Maybe. I don't know. It
Okay.
might.
So then Amanda's it. I mean, everyone knows that was a top 40 song. So I don't know how high it reached. Then We're Ready. So Amanda gets you in there. There's a girl. Did she go to outer space? I don't know. I'm making up the whole
Making up
concept.
the rock opera.
Yes. Amanda, I'm there. What? And then it goes, We're Ready. And that's getting you all riled up like the rocket's taking off. The ship is taking off. And there's sounds like it is a rocket, right? So you're going to go find him. Are you trying to find Amanda? I think we're ready to go find Amanda. She's somewhere in outer space. Then the next song, I can't even read. The next song is the what is here? They have the lyrics in here, which is quite convenient. The next song is The Launch, which is no lyrics. It's just a musical interlude. So I guess you're in hyperspace, and everyone knows, if you know anything about space from movies, you have to
Star
be in
Wars.
some sort of sedated state, like a coma, because it takes years, light years, to get to find Amanda, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you're about to find Amanda, so you have to go and cool the engines. That's the next song. Cool the engines. You're playing some hand air guitar solo in that. Then you're cooling the engines. You're searching through all your instruments where Amanda is, and you plug in your My Destination. And that's the next song. So you know where you think you know where Amanda is, so you go. And where do you go? It's another instrumental, A New World. That's where we think Amanda is. So that's the next song.
I think it's a concept record, 100%.
We're not skipping any records. Someone in the comments is going to just tear me a new
They're
one.
just going to tear you apart,
And then, as you're thinking that we're almost there to find Amanda, what does it take to get Amanda back? Because she went to outer space to get so far away from you.
Mm.
You need to be a man. And it's that's sort of a pseudo ballad to be a man, right?
Yeah.
And then you get yourself all riled up to be a man that you think, I think I like it. That's the next song, right? I think I like what I've discovered about me, and Amanda's going to love this.
Yeah.
And then you realize when you find Amanda, she's going to say to you, can't you say you believe in me? Can't you say you believe in me? Nee, 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 nee. While you play air guitar and sing like Brad Delp. As you're confident in this, you go, okay, I'm still in love with Amanda, which is the next song, which is a short little song. But then you realize whatever group of aliens that lives where Amanda is, they ate her. So now you have to turn your affection to an alien hot chick. By the way, that reminds me of that in Sweet, it's 16 Candles at the end. He goes, it's an alien. How you know it's a chick alien? She has tit. Remember that part?
Was that the
She
part
has
with John
breasts.
Cusack? in
Yeah,
it?
she has three. Yeah, John Cusack. She has three breasts or something like that, right? But then you realize I'm all built up with testosterone and love and lust. I discovered Holly Ann, which is the last song on the album. And Holly Ann will have to be a stand-in for Amanda. And no, we didn't skip any song.
You
Every
didn't skip
song,
any.
yes. Every song. Third stage. You gotta love it. No skips. How's that? I
That's
made it all up on the
that is an
spot.
analysis.
Yes. I think
Excellent. No skips.
I think they're gonna teach a college class on what I just did.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. Well, for this, I didn't know what I was going to pick, Rob, but I picked something. And I'm picking something that I'm going to go 90s. I do believe this album came out 1995.
Okay.
It was their self-titled album. Normally I don't go into the 90s, but this is one of my favorite records of the 90s. I would almost, you could probably almost call this a post-punk album. Now, there is a story about this. We had a conference in Chicago back in the day,
Mm-hmm.
and what was the record store? God, Rockaway? No, something in Chicago. Well, I found this as a used copy, and this was about 96,
Mm-hmm.
maybe 96. We're talking Elastica, and this is the
Ah,
original Geffen pressing from 1995, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm not going to tell you how much it was.
I think that was just reissued. I could be
Yeah,
wrong.
this is an
but
original one. But I don't know.
I only know one song off that album.
Well, it's a great record. And you can buy it cheap. Now, there's one thing that I never noticed when I bought this. There's one thing I never noticed when I opened it up, it had this in it. And this says fan club, and the address is the UK. Now, I
Yeah.
don't know if this came with it
Or you
Or-
bought it and someone just stuck that
or
in
someone stuck it in there. I've had it all these years, and I
there.
never
Well, I'm
knew.
sure you could look up on Discogs to say, do you have the one with the catalog in it?
Maybe. But they didn't press a lot of these because we're talking 1995.
Well,
All the pressing plants were closed by 91.
wasn't that their first album?
Yeah.
So how do they know? Well, this is the first album, but I'm almost certain we can squeeze merchandising dollars out of people who discover this album. So let's put in a fat catalog in there.
Yeah. Do you ever see this on your travels?
I never see that album. And
Yeah,
I would,
probably should-
and just guessing without knowing, you say it's cheap. I'm going to
Well,
guess
it's 96. I think
Yeah,
I
but I'm
bought it
gonna
for
guess-
$5.
yeah, but I'm going to guess that album is not a cheap album. That the OG of that you're holding
Right.
because
Yeah,
it was
well, it's not-
reissued.
Perfect, but it's the original Geffen CD. I mean, record.
Yeah.
But this record, I would say, is it's not post punk, but I mean, it
I-
harks back to post punk.
No, I don't. Again, I only know one song from them, the hit song off that album. And
Sure, what it
what would you? I'm not comparing them to the Pixies, but
No, it's harder than the Pixies.
yeah, but it would you call the Pixies post punk?
No, I'd call this alternative, but
Yeah, it's
I mean,
alternative.
if this was earlier, I mean,
Was there
1995 is not post-punk, but I mean it.
wasn't there a termed in British invasion of the early 90s, or am I wrong about that?
No, there was the 80s British
I mean,
invasion.
would you lump them in with Gene Loves Jezebel or
No, it's too late. I don't know. I guess this is just alternative. But
not yet, maybe 5 or 6 years?
but still, when you listen to it, it
Yeah.
almost sounds post-punk.
Okay.
I mean, and there's not a track on here that I would ever. Everything flows really well. The
Hmm.
songs are all great. But there's like lineup opens it. I mean, you've got guitar riffs,
Yeah, that's
you've
what I was
got
going to say there.
grunting, and I always
Yeah.
love grunting in a song. Um, but musically, it's very punkish. It's urgent. It's fresh. Maybe it's Brit pop. Could we call it Brit pop?
No, but I will say this. Is there a term for when British bands sing with a British accent? There was
Like the
always like when they
Kinks
sang.
or
Yeah, because I feel like that's
Blur,
yeah. Anyway, she's singing with the British
British
accent.
accent.
Is
Oh, it's a
there
very
any
British
in
record.
the chat? Anyone know is that a term when they
Yeah.
sing in the British accent?
But it's very punky to me. You know,
Hmm.
the opening track hits you right away. Annie's a second track. It's short. Um, it's frantic. It's very live sounding. There's nothing really deep on this record. It just has a lot of raw emotion and power to it, and it flows very, very nice. Connections like the third song, which sounds like Wire. You know the song "Three Girl Rumba" from Wire. It's the same riff, and I believe that there was a lawsuit for that because they copped the riff exactly. Dun,
Mhm.
dun, 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 dun,
Mhm.
dun, 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 dun,
That's
dun,
the hit
dun.
song, right?
That's the hit song.
Yeah.
Love it. Very rhythmic. It's just it really hits you. I mean, when I read about the band, a lot of the critics or whatever put this in Britpop. But God, it just sounds so post-punk to me or new. It could be new wave. Is it like Oasis? It's not Britpop like Oasis or Blur. I don't know why. I guess they didn't know where to put it. Car Song is another great track. I could keep going, but this is one of those if you go back and find the CD, you can usually find it for $1 or $2. And if you go out and find it, I'd highly recommend it. I think the whole album is just I love it. If you can get it cheap, pick it up. If you can find it on the original vinyl, go ahead and get that too. But I thought
Or,
I'd
or,
show that to you. Huh?
or you could just stream it.
Or you could just stream it. No,
You
go out
could
and
do
buy
that.
it. I don't even know if it's in print anymore. Anyway, that's my pick, Elastica, self-titled from
That's a good
1995.
pick.
It's a
I
good
have to
record.
listen. I have to listen to the album because again, I only know the hit song. So
But the whole idea of this show is we're trying to turn you on to stuff. Go check out Boston Third Stage. Go
yeah,
check out Elastica. So there you
yes.
go. All right, Rob, what's your next pick?
All right, my next pick is going to be. I think people will agree with it. I don't think I'll get grief from. I'm not obsessed with your comments, but if you leave ones challenging my integrity, I might have issues with it. But I think you'll agree. The year. No, I'm joking with the year. This is a kick-ass record, right? And it landmarks a lot of things outside of the record. I'll show the record so people know it. It's Peter Gabriel. So now, some people can say, well, Peter Gabriel, he was a musical star from being the lead singer of Genesis. Even I think he had a good solid 3 or 4 solo records before So came out, right?
Security would have been,
I mean, he had hit
yeah,
songs as a solo artist, Shock the Monkey, and I think his first hit song was Betty Salisbury Hill. Was that
yep.
right?
hmm What
Um,
was that, 77?
yeah.
77?
I mean, he had hits in the U.S., so he was an international person. But this album, because of the music videos, I think propelled this into the stratosphere.
And it was
But
very commercial.
well, I think half the album is commercial, half the album keeps true to his dealio.
But it's a lot more accessible than I think that any of the other records he's ever put out.
Oh no,
You know, the
100%.
whole criticism that I always have is that people always complain about how Genesis got so commercial, but no one fails to mention how commercial Peter Gabriel compared to what he had done before.
Well, I don't think he compromises what he believes in. He wrote I don't know how many hit singles were on this. At least three, I think.
Sledgehammer, there was, yeah, Red Rain. There's like
Yeah,
three or four.
no, probably five then. Because here's we'll go through it.
Mhm.
So it opens up with Red Rain.
Is this a concept record?
I don't think it's well,
Okay.
I don't think it is. But maybe with the music videos, he was,
Mm.
he really he's probably single-handedly opened up music videos for what, people could show the potential of, I don't know. Let's not go there. But you got Red Rain, great song, good song to open up a record. And it shows the kind of emotion and raspiness of his voice. And then obviously Sledgehammer's the big giant hit song, the music video. And it's catchy and dancey and all the things you want from a hit song. Okay, so the next one, he has two, I'll call them two duets on this album. First is with Kate Bush, and that's Don't Give Up. And I think at least in the US, that definitely was a hit music video, I think, where they're just
Yeah, I don't remember that being a single, but I remember they had a video for it.
it played all the time, where they're just
I guess it was a single.
emotionally hugging each other. And I think that kind of propelled Kate Bush in the US at least. I don't know how she
Well,
definitely
Hounds
did.
of Love came out in '85, and
Yeah,
Running
but
Up the Hill was a kind of a minor hit. But
was
this,
running was that so that's before this.
yeah, that was
I
'85.
think so. I think I knew of her before that from Running Up the Hill, but I think this kind of made her somebody, at least in the US.
And she was on Games Without Frontiers too.
Yeah, she was.
Mm-hmm. Sang background on that.
Okay. Getting nice with better.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the next one is That Voice Again. And I just listened to this today, but now that's slipping my mind. That Voice Again is I have the lyrics, so I'm trying to say if it catches me. Trust me, that's a good song. There's no
That's
skip
all right.
song.
I get, yeah, well, yeah, it's a great song.
All right, then In Your Eyes, which was bolstered because actually this is what's funny. The song listing on here. Now I was listening through Apple Music. I'm going to pull up Apple Music. I think the song listings were different. That's what's confusing me right now. This is funny. So the listings on the CD are different than the listings on the streamable album. That's crazy. So then In Your Eyes is like on the CD is the fifth song. In Your Eyes in the listing on the streaming is the last song. That's crazy. I don't understand this.
What the
But
heck?
I know.
I'm looking up the track listing because I got to see this.
Where do you have the listings? Swear to God, it's like right here.
I've got the vinyl of it. I've also got the CD of it.
I have the vinyl too, but I didn't pull it out.
But I
But
think the order's correct on the inside of that booklet.
Yeah, not. I mean, the order I listened to it while I was driving around today was different.
The CD though has an additional track that's not on the vinyl. But I'm talking about the original vinyl. I'm not talking about any reissue.
Well, I listened. Every song was on there, so let's go through it. In Your Eyes, it was made big. because, and I have a story for this, okay? I think it's 15 years ago. It might be 10 to 15 years ago. Peter Gabriel did a tour where he played the whole So album in its entirety. I went to the Hollywood Bowl to see it with friends. We actually sprung money because if you've been to the Hollywood Bowl, there's a sitting area where you get a table up front close to the
Where
stage.
the swimming pool was? Wasn't there a swimming pool in the Hollywood Bowl originally?
Not that I know of.
Or there was water. When the Beatles played there, they played in front of water. And Hendrix, when he played there was water.
I know I look old, but I'm not that old. So I don't know. But
I don't know, they
but
probably got rid of it.
we were in the area close to the stage, and he played the album. It was insanely good. So when it got to the part where he played In Your Eyes, you know what happened?
No.
John Cusack came out with a boombox, and he
No
held it up.
way.
It's on YouTube. You can go type in Peter Gabriel So Hollywood Bowl, and the video will show John Cusack coming out. And I actually have the video on my Facebook that I recorded.
Mm,
Came out, he held it up, the whole Hollywood Bowl
I
exploded.
bet.
Crazy. But that song being in the movie Say Anything, which is
Mm,
an excellent film.
100%.
Superb soundtrack, by the way. So that song was huge from that. Then Mercy Street,
Yeah.
I think, harkens back to oldie Peter Gabriel. That's kind of,
It's kind of that could be like something on an old, like on that first record or something. When I hear
it's somber. It's somber. It's looking for hope. That's good. And then Big Time was the other hit. Hello there.
but that's
again,
pretty commercial. It's not
yeah,
it's as commercial as anything that Genesis is doing, man.
yeah, huge commercial hit. The next song is What We Did When We're Told. That's the other duet. Off the top of your head, do you know who the duet's with? Or it's sort of not a duet.
Well, I thought I don't know if there's a duet on that one.
Well, it's Laurie Anderson.
No, that's Laurie Anderson's on this. This is The Picture, Excellent Birds. And that's a track that wasn't on the vinyl.
Okay, so I'm confused. I'm old. Now I'm showing my old senile.
You got the olds.
We do what we're told. Bum, 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 bum. Maybe that is actually more not first album Peter Gabriel. It's more like second album Peter Gabriel.
Yeah, I would agree. Mm-hmm.
But then this is The Picture. That's him and Laurie Anderson.
Yeah.
It's if you know Laurie Anderson's stuff, which I believe Laurie Anderson is a performance artist first, a musician second, that song's very Laurie Anderson. More than it's Peter Gabriel.
Okay.
Yeah.
This you might not be out of your mind as far as the track listing.
Well, I'm not
but the vinyl was sequenced differently than the CD was.
Why is that? Do we know?
Okay. The track This Excellent Birds, was bonus, not present on the vinyl pressing. The track order on the original CD followed the vinyl side structure, placing In Your Eyes as track 5 to optimize the audio quality on physical media. So wait a minute, let me see. In Your Eyes.
Is it the last song on side 1 or is it the first song?
So the CD does follow the same track order, but In Your Eyes open side 2.
Okay.
And they didn't add This Is the Picture.
Which is a good song.
Says later remastered editions, which I don't have. I think the original vinyl pressing of So sounds fine.
Well,
later remastered editions, 2002 onward, rearranged the order to move In Your Eyes to the end. Oh. Okay. Let me read that again. Later remastered versions, 2002 onward, rearranged the order to move In Your Eyes to the end as Gabriel originally intended, making Mercy Street track 5 and In Your Eyes track 9. So, did they not put this pick on the vinyl remasters of this? I know we're getting geeky.
Well,
Was
here,
this picture on there? It looks like it wasn't on there.
what picture? The
Track 9 was never
Well,
on the
I'm going to
vinyl.
have to go by this on Apple Music if it comes in. The
Like,
Apple Music uses the 2015 remaster.
okay.
So, regardless, people,
Regardless.
this is a non-skip album. There are no duds on this album. You can listen it without skipping a song from beginning to end. I'm confident. And if you need a note from me to give to someone to allow you to do that, I will gladly do that.
100%.
Thanks.
All right, my record, ladies and gentlemen. If anybody watched the Billy Corgan podcast recently and saw Dale Bozio on there talking to Billy, she is a hoot. But this reminded me that, God darn, I like this album a lot. And this is a no skip record. To me, this is the best Missing Persons album there ever was. And we're going to have to go with the debut album, Spring Session M. We wouldn't have this record if it wasn't for Frank Zappa, ladies and gentlemen, because he's the one who encouraged members of his band. Well, Dale Bozio was on Joe's Garage with Warren Carullo, which was the guitar player, and Terry Bozio, her husband, blah, blah, blah.
Drummer.
He encouraged them to make a band and go out and do it. So they put out Spring Session M. This came out, what, I think 80, what year was this? 82. When I first got this, I was like, oh no, this seems kind of wired, but this is definitely new wave. I think all the tracks on here, I mean, this is a fine line between pop and new wave when I listen to this, but the songwriting's good. I mean, they wrote all the tracks. The musicianship is great because everybody hears from Zappa, pretty much. Patrick O'Hearn's on here playing bass, or was he the keyboard player? No, he's playing bass. And if you listen to any of that Zappa stuff and listen to Patrick play, Jesus, what a great player. But
I saw Missing Persons live back then.
you did? I never did.
The thing that was amazing to me, my buddy was obsessed with Dale Bozio.
Wow.
Obsessed. And the way, in my mind back then, might be just me, they were like a Blondie ripoff. Initially, just because the way they were just portraying the blonde up front.
I get it. Yeah.
But when I saw them, the thing that blew me away was Terry Bozio's drums were all digital. It was all just touchpads. And it was huge. It was gigantic. He was like, he had it like above him. And it was a good show. They put on a good show. That's what I remember.
Good show, but I think this is a good record. I still think it holds up. See, after this, they got pretty commercial. It's like Capitol said, well, we've got maybe what was the hits on here? Walking in LA, maybe noticeable one. Windows was the hit. And I don't know how big of a hit it was, but when I listen to it, even now, it still holds up. And the later records, there's some good stuff on those records, but there's nothing quite like this because a lot of those later records get pretty commercial when I listen to them. This really still has a lot of ties to new wave. But the whole thing, goodness gracious, noticeable one, those synth sounds, the drums from Terry Bozio. I mean, Dale's vocals are great. If you listen to her talk about it on Billy Corgan's podcast, she had no vocal training. Zappa said, basically pumped her up and said, you can do whatever, you can do it. And she comes on here and does a great job. She does a great job on Joe's Garage. But I think it all works. It is total new wave. Windows is a great track. I don't know how high that charted, but it's just a mid-tempo synth track. You like Human League, anything like that, you'll like this. Ain't None of Your Business. This is like a punchy up-tempo rocker. Got Terry Bozio's kicking it out of the park on here, but it's a good balance of synths, guitars, drums, new wave, And maybe her vocals are a little bit an
Pitchy.
acquired taste, maybe, but I don't know. The
I
songwriting and the
think
playing
her
on it, I think.
I think her singing was of the time where it became acceptable for for singers to
Mhm.
do kind of weird things with their voice, you know?
But I think it works. Van
Yeah.
Halen, David Lee Roth was doing all those weird noises and it worked all right. But ain't none of your business is phenomenal. Destination Unknown is one of the
That
great
that
tracks on the
I think
record,
that I think that was probably the biggest song on that album.
probably. But Chuck Wild, I think he was playing the keyboards. Hell, maybe Patrick O'Hearn and uh, Chuck were playing. I don't
I
know
think
who's
on
playing on
Destination
everything.
Unknown, that keyboard riff
Mhm.
was very catchy. Like
Another
leading.
track on here, Rob, Walking in LA was a big track,
You know what? I walk in LA all the time. So
and it's
fact
okay.
that song is wrong.
So they got it right. Well, no one walks in LA according to this song.
No,
Great
people are
guitar
walking
by
all the time.
You got great guitar by Warren. You've got Dale's great vocals. You've got Terry Bozzio's just pounding. It's great.
Hmm.
US drag, kind of weird rhythmic kind of thing. Um her vocals kind of sound like it's kind of like David Lee Roth, only softer. Um Tears is another, that's a ballad. Works really well, I think. Here and Now, more guitar, good balance, nice harmonies. Terry Bozzio's a machine. You get the idea in it. We've got words. See, the hits just keep on coming. I think the whole record, there's not a stinker on the record, and all the
It was
songs.
Words was a big hit.
Words was a hit, I guess, but was it a big hit?
I mean, at that time I was listening to WHFS in DC. That was the alternative radio station. So they were playing that album. They were playing all that stuff.
Yeah.
And
Bad Streets.
there were videos on MTV of those songs.
Yeah, it was big.
Yeah.
They were never as big as they were her. But Bad Streets, that's kind of the heaviest track. That's almost like pure rock. Good guitar solo by Warren. Very aggressive. It's a good song. Rock and roll suspension. Quirky, a lot of synth accents, driving beats. It's fine. Um, No Way Out ends it. It maintains that new wave vibe. I'm gonna stand that there's no weak tracks on it, and I can still listen to this record and not get tired of it. I played the crap out of this when I had it back in the day. I mean, when I first got it, played it all the time. I don't know. I dig it. This is the best
I
Missing
think it
Persons album.
holds up. It holds up fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 80s, but it's a good 80s.
Mhm.
See, I base certain things, if you have a legacy band that you're used to maybe what they sounded like in the 70s or 60s, or it's like the Rolling Stones. Think of Rolling Stones' Dirty Work. Pure 80s. And I'm listening to it, and it's just, I think the 80s, as far as sound goes, you have different rules for different bands or artists. And a lot of those 70s bands, those 80s, 60s bands that try to do that 80s thing, ugh, I just have a hard time with
I
some
know
of it.
there's a version of Missing Persons still together because
Yeah.
there's a show coming up in LA. I think it's a tour where they're on the bill. So I don't know who's in that version of
She's
Missing
got
Persons.
the bass player, the Knacks in it.
So it's
Um,
mainly just her.
well, her, there's no other, Warren's not in it, Terry's not in it anymore.
Yeah.
Of course, they got a divorce, but I guess they're still friendly.
I mean, there are videos of Terry's like at least 73 or something.
Yeah, Terry was quite a bit, well, he's probably about that. Yeah.
Well, but there's videos of him playing still, and he can
Oh,
kill.
he's phenomenal.
He's like, because I have a buddy. If you watch my live streams, Jim, record
Hmm.
collector news, he's the biggest Zappa person I know. So when I drive around with him, I'm forced to listen to Zappa.
Hmm.
There's a 20-minute drum solo by Terry Bozzio. I don't know what album it's on, and Jim says to me, Frank wrote every note that Terry hits in this 20-minute drum solo. Like he instructed him.
I don't know about
Well,
that.
that's what listen, Jim is everything is Zappa first. He's all Zappa. So with the
He's all
fact
Zappa all the time.
I would love like Hot Rats, I love that album, but it's an instrumental album.
Mhm.
My issue with Frank Zappa is when you get to the lyrics, it's like a 12-year-old wrote them. 13 year
It's
old.
I know what you
Right.
mean.
And listen, I'm as stupid as and dirty as they come with lyrics and stuff. But there's only so much I can hear. I could go, ugh. But
Well,
so getting back to the Terry Bozzio drums is regardless of Frank wrote every note, go
mhm.
listen to that 20-minute drum solo. It's crazy good. He's
well,
like, and I think there's videos of it. I could be wrong.
well, that's what Dale was attracted to. He was such a good musician. She called him a genius. He just was, as a percussionist, he was just out of this world.
Well, I got to see him, but it was weird seeing the drummer up until that point
Mhm.
not playing. He was not playing real drums. He was playing electronic drums.
Well, I saw Terry play when he was in the Knack. So we were at the Agora in Cleveland. They were on the Zoom tour. He plays drums on Zoom. He was part of the band. My buddy Tom and I were right up front. There were probably 25 people in the Agora that night to see the Knack. And Terry was drumming. We were right there. He was phenomenal. Great. God darn. So talented. But the thing that I was going to say about Zappa, a lot of that stuff got real child. Some of that stuff I don't care for either. But I will say, like the Mothers of Invention, like we're only in it for the money. The lyrics weren't stupid, you know, or like on Uncle Meat or
Yeah,
Absolutely
but
Free.
there.
He kind of adapted that as he kept going.
I know. If you want, listen. Like I prefer his live albums actually
Mhm.
because that's when they're jamming crazy, and
Yeah,
that's a lot of the songs. Because he was a genius musically.
100%.
I just don't. I don't. And I don't. I under. I guess his urge to be humorous overtook how strong his musicality was.
Hmm.
But like Jim loves it.
Yeah. Well, we looked at that whole Flo and Eddie period.
Yeah,
Oh, I can't
but
stand. I
it's a
don't have a
normal.
problem with Flo and Eddie and the Turtles. I don't have a problem with Flo and Eddie solo, but my God, I do not like Flo and Eddie in the Mothers.
Yeah, but they did that kind of monologue shit
Mm.
that he did late. He kept doing.
Oh, it just
You know?
drives me crazy.
But he had George Duke in that band. George Duke kicked ass. Like Jim says, he encouraged George Duke to sing.
Yeah, he encouraged Dale to sing. He
Yeah,
encouraged them. I mean, everybody left Zappa's band and started their own band. He said,
like
Go, it's time." He basically said,
yeah,
"It's time.
go be free.
Go be free."
But
Absolutely great stuff.
great choices of albums. Good job.
Thank you. Great as well as you.
Well, I just try.
Uh,
I'm just a trier.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, please leave a comment down below. We went on a rampage talking about Zappa, but it's all about talking music in the warehouse, and we do want to hear from what you have to say. Let us know what you think of our picks. We will be back next month for 4 more records to hopefully turn you on to. If you haven't subscribed to Rob's channel, tell them about your channel again, Rob.
My channel mostly is me doing live streams twice a week, usually Tuesday and Thursday mornings, 7 a.m. Pacific. I do throw in occasional videos here and there because my main thrust of collecting vinyl is jazz. But as you can see today, I listen to all types of music. I have a vague knowledge of a lot of things.
Little bit of everything. So go down to the bottom of the page. His link is down at the bottom where I have other pages. So go give Rob some love and subscribe.
Yeah.
We will be back next month with 4 more records. So we will see you. It's almost the weekend. I'm going to try to get this up ASAP. Rob, I will be in contact and we will book another day.
All right. Thank
All
you
right.
for having me, man. Appreciate it.
Hey, no problem. We'll see everybody. Have a good one.